Wow, bumper. We're live. Welcome to, I guess this is still the 19 Conversation Series, An Hour of Distraction. It would be number 52 if it was. Took a week or two off there. So, I mean, I guess it still is. Of course, we're at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. Nobody in the world would even know that we would be doing something at this time. So I guess we hang out for a minute, see if anybody joins us. Just got a pop-up that Brody tagged us in something.
Yeah.
I wonder if he knows. Oh, he tagged us in a picture of his Marshall amp. Oh, my comments aren't up. Brad Miller's here. Hey, Brad, what's up? So what do you think? Should we? I think we wait around for the unboxing. Wait on that for a little bit.
Right. Build the suspense. I just realized I hadn't been in this room for a while since we've been recording together. But I'm like, why does it look weird? Well, I took some of the lights out and all kinds of stuff. I'm using a different thing for my phone.
Right.
It's a whole new day here. Magic Matt, what's up?
Well, Ryan, I got the camera set up for. We've kind of been back. I mean, that's what's been going on. We've been back recording, and putting some time into that. So between that and editing and stuff like that, here's Magic Matt. Put out a couple videos since, right? We put out the Morley, put out the Joyo, put out the Line 6 tremolo, the Jam tremolo, the Boss tremolo, the season opener. Oh my gosh.
You're saying the T word a lot.
What's that?
You're saying the T word a lot.
Oh, the tremolo word.
Tremolo.
We did a surprise live stream the other night to unbox this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what's on tap?
Yeah.
I think this one's going to get done pretty early, but we don't have the independent clip that I do yet, so I'll have to do that.
That's true.
And then I think this one's coming up next time we record. We'll probably record this guy. The signature trem by Hampstead. And we did, those of you that have been part of the 19 Conversations remember us interviewing Tim Steer.
Brody's in. Says he can't stay long. That's all right. A little bit of Brody is better than no Brody at all.
We recorded this the other night. This one should be out maybe this week.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. This is the Dynatron by Keeley. So that one's sitting in the back. And then Mike Roadblock, who, after that conversation with Jamie Stillman, sold me this at a ridiculous price. We actually got to put a video together for that, too. And so that one should be, that's the speaker cranker from Earthquaker. That should be out. Pat and I haven't talked about that yet, but I was thinking about maybe just doing that as a bonus one, maybe on Monday or something like that. So, lots of stuff coming. What else, Pat?
I don't know. I was trying to think of, I feel like we've done so much, and I'm back to the blur of what did we record and what did we release? I feel like you kind of covered most of that.
The only one I think we missed is the is it the TR7 or the rotary? We did the tremolo sounds in that hardwire pedal.
Right.
So there is a video out for the Leslie series on that, but we did it again for the tremolo series.
Yeah. Trying to get through. It's some of this is harder than I would have ever thought, right? Scheduling, not necessarily our time together, but like scheduling and which ones do we do first. And we have ones that people were kind enough to send us, and some that helped us out, and some that were left over from the other series that are nice pedals but kind of paperweightish. When do we get through those so we can put them on reverb and pay ourselves back for some of the tremolo series or grab a couple more things. It's far from complaining. I'm just saying it's just interesting when we sit down and be like, well, we want to get to this one. And so, but we have made some pretty decent progress since we've been back.
Right. Well, we've recorded 5, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have 2 more recorded. So there was one that I was thinking about when you were saying that. Oh, the DSL pedal, which Dave Cito from DSL sent that one to us. So we definitely want to do it kind of quick. But on the other hand, in the Leslie series, we did his Leslie pedal like 3rd.
Right.
Like right after the Neo stuff. So we rushed with the Neos because they were sent to us, and we rushed with his because that was sent to us. And in the end, I felt like if we had saved those for a while, we would have done a better job because we got better at doing it. So that I'm kind of feeling like, well, maybe we do this Fender one and the Hampstead one because there's really not a lot of videos out online about them right now. Put those out and then maybe go into the DSL from Dave because at that point we'll have done like 7 of them. It doesn't necessarily mean we'll release them in that order, but that pedal's fantastic, and I want to do a good job with it.
First question of the night, Brad Miller is asking if anybody bought anything from Sweetwater during their virtual Gear Fest. I perused a few things. I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, I was wondering that too because I didn't see nothing. I
just happened to what that you were interested in, or
yeah. The only thing I saw that I was kind of interested in, they had that D'Angelico Grateful Dead guitar again, and they had it on like open box for $400, but they blew those things out a while ago, and I think when they blew them out, is it the Tone King or somebody picked one up, and I think he picked it up cheaper than that, and I was like, well, that's a guitar that you couldn't flip. You couldn't
right.
Like, you got to get that dirt cheap because you're never going to turn that around. I mean, you're not going to sell that on Craigslist or Marketplace or anything like that.
Mickey Settlemeyer sliding in here. 39 Lashes in here. He said he's popping in and out. He's at band practice, but wanted to say, hey.
Well, cool, Tony, because we're going to open that pedal you sent here in a little bit, and then I want to show that video of your pedal board extension cab too. So I don't know if you will be here long enough to do that. If he's here now, maybe we should pop the pedal open now.
Yeah, tell us how long will you be here because this will only take a few minutes. Brad Miller said he picked up some strings and a stand. Yeah, you could jump right into that.
He might be gone already.
Right.
It was a quick pop in. We'll wait a little bit.
Okay, he just said share away. I have a minute. So here we go.
All right, let's do it. So, package. Pat and I have been talking about this. I think I'm going to go this bubble wrap envelope more.
Yeah.
Anyway. So this is from Tony. Tony sent me an instant message the other day and told me he wanted to send this over. And this could potentially be part of a series. It's not going to be part of the Tremolo series. But it could potentially be part of a series down the road. And so, Tony, we appreciate you sending this. And I'm just going to slice that bad boy open and see what Tony sent. Here we go. Ha! Nice. Got a little message on the box. So, from one beard to another. Tony got a nice long goatee after the man.
Well, I discussed it. Tony's got it going from the top and the bottom. He's got the kind of a faux hawkish thing going and a beard. He's all of us rolled into one.
Check that out. Isn't that nice? Some Ernie Ball picks. Thanks, Tony.
Ooh, real nice.
And then we have the Jimmy Zero Vibrato, designed by Moen Effect Lab. Got a course and a vibe button there. See Jimmy's picture?
Nice. You want to make yourself
oh, yeah.
the center of attention. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
So Moen has the Shaky Jimmy out, which I've read a lot about and heard a lot about and heard good things about. This is, I think, pre-Shaky Jimmy. So this is like kind of one of the early versions. I think that's what Tony said. So it's a vibe pedal, right? So, and I think prior to getting into the Leslie pedals, the vibrato pedals were always my favorite. And then I went down this huge rabbit hole of Leslie pedals. So got a little Electro Harmonix. I think we got an Electro Harmonix box there. That's really cool, man. We really appreciate that. Let's show. I'm gonna have to clean up all the boxes and pour out sitting around my feet. Let's show Tony's pedal board. Well, you can't get a real good look at his pedal board, but you can get a look at how it works. And this thing is incredible. So let me share that with you real quick before we continue the conversation. Thanks again, Tony. That's awesome that you sent that over. We really appreciate it. We're glad you like the Leslie series. Chrome tab, share audio. Here we go. You all see that? All right, check this out. This is Tony's pedal board rig, an extension cab. That's awesome.
That is really cool.
Pat and I've been humping gear for the last couple of weeks. We're playing outside, and we got to set up. You got to set up the whole thing. I'm so used to walking in and plugging in and flipping two switches and being good to go. You know, like literally, my setup in the morning on a Sunday is typically take guitars out of a case, plug them in, and flip two switches. And we've been humping gear, and that is brilliant.
That is brilliant. And it's cool too, like the two-tone wood and it's sick.
Right. So I'm going to post a link. Let me make sure I got the right link here.
Oh,
I'm going to post a link to that in case you want to watch that brilliance again. I know I watched it like twice the first time I saw it, 2 or 3 times. But not only that, when you're there, subscribe to his page. He's just started putting some stuff up on YouTube, and we like to support that. So make sure you subscribe. Give him a few subscribers while you're out there, because Tony's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's having to jump back to practice, but thanks again, man. That's great.
He said we should do a vibe series.
Yeah. We're just going to continue to modulate, right? That's what we're going to end up doing.
Right, modulate into that.
Hobo Roadie jumping in, saying he's got a dead walnut and a dead alder that he wants to convert into speaker cabinets.
Oh, nice. I've never seen somebody put I'm sure it's been done, but put a pedal board at the back of a cabinet like that.
Right.
I think that's cool.
He's on to something. Mickey Settlemeyer said he grabbed a couple gravity picks and a GoPro mount clamp arm thingy at GearFest, which we talked a little bit about some of that stuff because the GoPro that we formerly called Orson Welles has been being used on the series with a clip on headstocks and guitars now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. The beginning of the Morley video, I think. And you used it in the Joyo video, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, I was really disappointed there was nothing in Sweetwater's video or their sale that made me want to just yank out the card, and I was really hoping they would maybe put some. I would love to see a sale from Source Audio because they're one company. There's a couple of things they have. There's about 3 pedals. I would love to get in by them. They're a tremolo for the tremolo series. their new Spectrum envelope filter. And then I've been talking forever about the collider that's like delay and reverb in one.
Right.
But I mean, expensive pedals.
Brad Miller said he got saved by lunch that he was looking at the PRS SE hollow bodies, and then he had to go back to work. He said it was close.
The sales didn't seem like big sales, though, did they?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything that I was like, wow. But I didn't spend too much time. I probably would have gone the route was that Brad said he bought some like stands and fixed some strings. It probably would have been more of the accessory. It did have like, it was an Ibanez brand like double gig bag that was like $40, but I didn't know much about it.
They had Henning was talking about. They had a Eventide power supply on there that's made by, I think it's Quakes or something like that. It's a German company that makes them for Eventide. Basically, it's the exact same thing as the German company, but the Eventide slaps their name on it. And he said it was a really, really good price. And he's like, it's the best power supply out right now. And you know, there was a small bit of, well, maybe I should check that out because it had, I think it had 8 or 15. It had a whole bunch, maybe 8 or 9 inputs on it, but every input could do 9, 12, 15, or 18 volts, and every input was like 400 milliamps. So basically, there was like you could run any pedal on any input, and I thought, well, you know, that would be worth having.
Unlike my dinosaur that's sitting next to me that only does 100 milliamps. That one.
What?
Dogpaw jumping in saying that the amp with the pedal board looks like the cutting board his brother just got. Welcome back, Dogpaw.
Yes. Pat and I were talking the other day how much we missed doing that. We did these every day for like 60, pretty much every day for like 60 days. Really enjoyed it, and
right.
we haven't. There's been some things going on. You know, it wasn't just getting back and recording the other videos. You know, Pat's wife was home for a week, and my wife was finishing up some surgery. She had her kidney surgery thing that was that. Oh, look at that when she had her jaw surgery, and then the blood clot, and then the X-rays, and then you know how doctors are. Oh, well, look at that. That looks weird. We should do more tests on that. Oh, we should do a surgery on that. Oh, we should. Oh, well, that didn't work right. Let's fix that, and
let's go find that piece we lost.
Right? Yes, exactly, because they did. They lost the piece. They were supposed to remove a stent, and when they went to find it, it wasn't there, and then that led to another. It's been a mess, but she's doing really well. I think come Tuesday, we're done with all that, hopefully. So,
okay, all right.
But yeah, it's been a weird couple weeks here. Brian said the inventory is so low that you can't do much of a sale, and I didn't think about that, but that's probably true.
Yeah, because we only talked to pedal manufacturers, and in the beginning they were all kind of okay, and then I think a lot of them hit that whole enclosure problem, more or less. So I don't know what it was like for everybody else with other products.
And that was pretty common because I reached out to the company that makes, I can't think of the name now. The company that makes the Trematron, they're over in Europe. Do you remember which one that is? Who that is?
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
But I reached back out to them and they said they couldn't. They're waiting on the enclosures. They didn't have any right now. So, are we at clip of the day?
Yeah.
All right. Clip of the day.
I say we can't do guitars today. We definitely went through all the guitars. Pretty sure.
I don't know. Well, there's still one or there's my son's
right.
The one he stole from me.
Right.
But where? Here we go. Clip of the day. I'm not going to give it any preview. We're just going to go for it. I mean, if we're gonna get hit for it, we might as well play a little bit of it. Curtis Mayfield. That's a percussion you and I like to jam over.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a song that sounds a bit like it, one of the ones we do. It's a good one. Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it, but is it One Filter or Own Filter? That show has a really cool lineup and cool bands. Like that, and is it Jules Holland show? A couple of those shows really get great players. Should go down a rabbit trail some night on that.
That song right there too. Like, one of the comments on here on YouTube, I don't know if it was this one. One of the Curtis Mayfields I watched recently, one of the first comments was something like one of the most what's the word I'm looking for?
Renditions.
Underrated guitar songwriters of all, like just a great commenting on how great of a songwriter he was. That song has been covered by, Bob Marley, Eric Clapton, Blind Boys of All. I mean, if you type that song in and start going down through all the people that have done that song, it's like everybody has done that song.
Yeah, Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck.
Yeah. What a voice Curtis Mayfield has. So if you're not real familiar with Curtis Mayfield, there's a lot of great stuff out there by him, and great voice, great music. Worth checking out.
Sean Zimmerman checking in. He said he's cooking dinner. What you making?
A couple people saying that if there's a second wave shutdown, stuff will be hard to get, and I can see that. Interesting. I started. Pat and I have made it an unspoken rule almost to not get on the channel, to not get political and not get too deep. It's not that we don't have feelings about different subjects and care about different things, but not to get too not to get embroiled in the social online arguments that take place. And so when a lot of this stuff started going down, I started like just going through my music collection and watching videos by some artists and posting them on my personal Facebook page. No diatribe with it. Just here's a video. And shortly after that, Warren Haynes posted an article. I'm going to share that real quick. If I can find it. Here it is. And it was interesting because one of the songs I posted was "A Change Is Going to Come." And then Warren posted this article called "A Change Is Going to Come. Yes, it will. Opinion." So it's an opinion piece by Warren Haynes. I'm not going to read it to you or even try and recount what he talks about. But we posted this. I posted it on the PJ and the Beard Facebook page. One of the things he does at the very end is he gives us a below is the playlist I put together, presented chronologically of the many of my favorite songs by some of my favorite artists. Purposely stops at 2002. Talks a little bit about that, but one of the things that he talks about is how music, that makes the article kind of interesting. He talks about how like music has historically been good at breaking down those racial divides and stuff that people were talking about, and it was really just I found it to be a really kind of interesting read on how like a lot of our musicians got picked up by people over in Europe, and then when they came over here, they exposed us over it. Anyway, I'm not going to dive into it too much other than say the article is posted on our Facebook page. Highly recommend just checking it out. Warren Haynes, I mean, come on, it's Warren Haynes. So you know that he's going to give you a bunch of really good people to go and listen to that he drew from. So I thought it was pretty cool. And it's about as deep as we would get into get into any of it. But it really struck a chord with me. It really did. Pat and I haven't had a chance to talk about it at all, but it struck me. Thinking back to we had that during 19 conversations, we interviewed Gary Rothrock and Brian Landreth about the Blues Society stuff and the blues jams. And I was thinking back to those early days of the blues jams, and you talked about not only like racial divides, but economic divides, and just like people from all different walks of life. When you'd go to that blues jam, you'd park between like a Lexus and a beat up, some old beater or whatever, and you'd go inside and you would be people inside from all walks of life, playing music together and making music. It's like kind of this little highly diverse microcosm of people, and music does have a way to transcend a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, definitely a lot of things. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
I was going to say, other than even just race and socioeconomic things, I was in Russia in the early 90s, and one of the guys I was traveling with, my former youth pastor, knew a ton of Beatles songs. So there was Russian musicians there, and when he started playing Beatles songs, they all just started playing along. And then obviously you could just play, a 12-bar blues progression and just like communicate with each other and connect with each other on a level that you wouldn't have without music. So it's kind of interesting.
Brian said, are you adding to that?
No.
To say, Brian said good news about Bren's mother. So, yeah, we were gonna go. We talked earlier today about trying to do a live stream tonight, and I was thinking maybe like 9:30 or so we would maybe try and slip one in, because we certainly didn't want to go on when Ben was on, and then I saw later that Ben wasn't going to be on, so we figured, well, we'll move it up because better to do it earlier. But yeah, Ben posted that his mother got a liver, and they were taking her to the hospital to get. So I don't know that whole story other than it sounds like a really good thing. And so much love to Ben. And I know certainly our prayers go out to him and his family to make sure the doctors and stuff do a good job in helping his mom out.
Yeah. Will Varela joining in.
What's up, Will?
Yeah, let's go talk about community, right? So here we are, YouTubers, and have gotten to know some other YouTubers, and you find out about things in their personal life, and you're able to support them at some level, even with Sean Zimmerman being in our chat all the time. It's really another didn't see that coming moment for the channel.
Yeah.
Dog Paw saying in 1974 he saw Black Oak, Arkansas, and Earth, Wind, and Fire on the same stage. Nobody said or thought a thing about it. We just dug the music. So.
Well, it's funny because you think about like Allman Brothers too. Allman Brothers was one of the first Southern rock bands to be a kind of an interracial band, right? Has had white and black people in the band throughout the whole history of the band. I mean, doesn't. Oh my gosh, it's like it doesn't even matter. Like,
right.
Oh my gosh, it just drives me crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh my gosh, early 90s, started working the local Blue Cross Blue Shield here, and my first day on the job, met an African-American guy close to my age, and kind of struck up a little friendship, and he's one of 5 brothers. Their dad was a pastor, and they all had their parts in writing songs. Like the one brother wrote all the hooks, and the one brother did the beats, and the one brother, Thaddeus, had huge sausage fingers and played the Hammond like nobody's business. And so I got to play with them, and I got to go into some inner city African-American churches in Baltimore and Harrisburg, and just so gracious and wonderful, and trying to feed you every 5 seconds and hugging you. And so yeah, it's music is a wonderful thing. Definitely breaks down walls.
I gotta tell you, I would love. So there's a couple of styles of music I would love to learn to play. Like, love to learn to play well. In funk, reggae, and like gospel are the top three kind of that I don't really know real well that I would love to. I would love to spend a year or two just being a guitar player in a band at a real gospel church, like a real gospel church, where they have a Hammond and a drum set, and man, I would love to just get into that. I'd love to get into reggae too, because reggae is just so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, some of the changes that Thaddeus and others would play on the passes just from one chord to another, I'm just like, whoa. So the thing I had going for me was I could play just little single note stuff and little riffy stuff and just be a genius because there was so much other stuff going on, and not a big, at least the churches I'd been to and even playing with those five brothers, none of them played guitar. So I was sort of, an anomaly. So I got to kind of jump in, but I could not digest everything they were doing. I mean, some of those changes were just like, what did you just do?
Right. The rest of the Mickey said the rest of the world could take a lesson from musicians. There's a great through this time of whatever. There was that my feed one day popped up an interview, I think, with David Bowie and MTV. Like, go look that up. That's a hoot, because he calls him out. He totally calls him out. He's like, "Hey, where are all the black artists on your channel? Why aren't any videos of black? Why is it all?" Totally calls him out. It's a great little moment in time where he's love it.
Well, if he did it as Ziggy Stardust, it'd been even better.
I'm pretty sure David Bowie. Sure.
Could cover all his bases.
Pretty sure it's David Bowie and MTV. Now that I say that, it's great. Yeah, it's like 4 minutes.
I'd like to ask you something.
I'll put a link in the chat. Go watch it later. Or go watch it now. Whatever trips your trigger. There it is. There's a link in the chat to it. So was there? I think I hit all the. We got the package open. Thanks again, Tony. We got clip of the day. We got the article. What am I missing?
I don't know. Well, you're missing something that you don't know about. There's a surprise unboxing.
Oh, nice. I like surprise unboxings.
I may have done a little thing, but I did learn a trick from you.
Oh, nice. Yes, the snap to open.
Yes. So we've looked at my mini pedal board on the show, and I've been talking to Jason about. I do I guess it's called the 4-cable thing, right? Because I like to run my delays. Occasionally, I think I have the one love pedal reverb through there, but I don't always use the gain channel in my amp, so I don't know that I need to do that anymore. And so we're going to do an experiment. So there is the Moore from the Moore Spark series. I got, oh my gosh, I got their delay pedal.
Oh, nice.
In that little format, because I have right now the tremolo, the distortion, and the overdrive, side by side with the little special hook plugs. So if I was willing to not do the 4-chord method, I could slap this one on there. Not that I couldn't do the 4-chord method with that, but so it was brand new. I got it on Reverb. It was brand new, heavily discounted. Comes with pre-cut Velcro. Is that the wrong side though?
That's the wrong side for everything I do.
I know, right? Got a booklet here. Small, trendy, and original. So, let's look at it. So there's I have the distortion. I just have my finger on something else, don't I? There's a flanger. Let's just read it real quick. So in that series, there's the distortion. I have that. Flanger, don't have that. Overdrive, I have that. The tremolo, which I've played a lot today, I have that. Now I have the Spark delay. There's a chorus, a reverb, a compressor, an echo, and a phaser. I'm not sure that I'm trying to get the whole set, but so I thought I'd be willing to try it out. It's inexpensive. It's small. So I thought, what the heck?
There, I tell you what, every one that you've brought over here, which I guess is really the only one I've really played, I guess, would be the Tremolo.
Yeah.
They've been really nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's small, super small footprint. I just put the plastic back with it, the foam. Yeah, super small footprint. And I swear I got almost every one of these brand new for probably under $40. All the ones I have in the series. So, yeah, curious to try it out. I don't know, and Brian Landreth is in here, but I have the Carbon Copy Deluxe, and I just feel like the output's kind of weird. Like, I feel like even when I turn the mix way up, it seems to sit really far back. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm not making sense. The regular Carbon Copy, I think, always sounds great. I tend to fight with the Deluxe, which was part of the reason I was willing to see what I could throw on the board.
Speaking of that, we could probably share a couple little things. This has been talked about a little bit.
Yes.
That's the new Tyler Ampworks. It's the PT22. It's a 22-watt version, basically, of a Fender Blackface Princeton. And just getting to know it right now. But so far, I think the stuff we've recorded with it sounds great.
Yeah, I think the majority of the recording we've done since you got it has been almost solar on that amp.
So the jam pedal, we use that, right? We use that for the jam pedals.
The Keeley.
And the Keeley. I'm trying to think what's
and
out. I think the only video that might be out with that is the jam pedal one. Dave Severin just jumped in. Yo.
I'm just reading more about the pedal that I bought. Sorry, because it has the little card in here. It's real quick. Didn't even know this. 500 milliseconds of delay. There's a vintage switch that simulates to add modulation effects to tube delay. True bypass. So, there are two modes: normal and vintage. I'll try it out. It weighs, for those of you keeping track at home, it weighs 261 grams.
Will asks if he's the oldest person here because he saw Hendrix live with Band of Gypsies at the Fillmore East. Wow, jealous.
I don't know that Brody. I don't know that Brody's still here, but I'm pretty sure Brody's dad. Brody gets his love of music, honestly.
So that's the Tyler, and then we said earlier tonight that we've been humping gear recently. So we've been playing outside, which has been an interesting. Playing outside is always weird, and we don't have the sound reinforcement that you would have for like a big show. But so it's a weird.
Right.
It's kind of been a weird vibe trying to get used to it again, get used to that. But I feel, is this the third week we've done that? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I felt a little more comfortable today. I'll show you the first Sunday we did it, I snapped some pictures. So I broke this amp back out. So this amp has sat in the garage for probably 2 to 3 years and hadn't been turned on. Pulled it out and turned it on. It's working like a champ. That's the Fender Super Amp. It's a 410. I want to say 80s maybe. I think they're sleeper amps, though. I think they sound great. And then threw together this pedal board for fun.
Well, that's the newest iteration, right? Yeah.
No, that's the first.
Okay.
So it's changed. The only change today I changed. I took the mini vent off and put on the Pigtronic Rototron.
Right.
So, and that pedal, man, that Rototron has such a unique sound to it, and I thought it really worked. I don't know if you were able to hear that or not, but I thought. Well, and would you know? Because I did use the Microvibe a lot today, and I used the Rototron a lot. So like it was either one or the other. The Microvibe sounded really good, I thought. And then it has that over in the little right-hand corner there, that little switch will switch it between two speeds. So it has like a real fast. So it's doing the same thing. It's running like on real slow. The speed knob was probably like not quite at 10 o'clock, not quite at 9, but it was running kind of slow. But if you hit that button, it would ramp up and it would ramp down. So it was kind of doing a Leslie thing, but it was a much more subtle Leslie thing. And then the Rototron was kind of more of a bright thing.
I definitely like what I heard coming from that side of the tent because it's kind of funny. I think we kind of sense, I'm going to call it something weird, but sense the same warble moments. Because all I have over there that warbles is the tremolo, right? Everything else is just pretty straight. So the times where I'm like, I could really do something here, and I either hit it and heard what you were doing, or heard what you were doing before I was going to hit it. So we were kind of finding those same.
Right.
Same
There was a couple times I was going to turn it on, and I heard you had your tremolo on and left it off. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't singing today. I didn't go into deep territory. I was still the bread and butter, driving the song kind of thing. But I probably turned the tremolo off and on more because I wasn't singing at all today. So
I will say too, that Morley Walk sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. The only thing I don't like, there was one time where I accidentally hit the button. I think I stepped on the little dry bell button, and at the same time on the Morley. So the next time I went to use the Morley, I was like, all the highs are gone. And then realized I hit that. And of course, outside in the sun, it's hard to see those lights. But that Morley well sounds good. The Stinger Fuzz, people in here will be familiar with that, right? The TL pedal Stinger Fuzz. That thing sounds good. That's the only pedal I didn't hit on today was the Stinger Fuzz, but the other 2 Sundays I did use those. Did get a chance to use that live, and it sounds great live. And I think both times, I haven't dialed it in yet. I haven't figured it out quite yet. So both times I've used it, I haven't used it with like the volume on the guitar rolled all the way up. But I've had it up enough to know that, man, that thing is killer. The Rubber Chicken is a great envelope filter. We actually did a song today that was kind of reggae. It wasn't reggae, but it had like kind of a reggae-ish thing. So I was able to use the wah and the filter in that song a little bit. And the microphone sounds great, although I really am liking the Pigtronics. If you haven't seen the Pigtronics video, check it out. I think it's one of the most interesting. I think it's one of the most unique Leslie pedals that we covered as far as the sound of it. Like, I think it has a different thing to its sound than all the other ones. The DM2 delay, of course, is incredible. I mean, I love that. That's just for years and years.
Well,
and then the Wampler tape.
That's the OG, right?
Yeah, that's the one that I've been. I actually don't even know. I mean,
it's not the Watsacraft.
Right, that one's just always on and never changes the setting. I always dial it right to where it is there. The Wampler tape echo is pretty cool. Not sure if that's. It definitely sounds good, but I'm just not sure yet if that's what I want. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And look at that
early. What's that?
Early direct drive. One of the first direct drives ever made, right there. Oh yeah, nice. I was going to say.
Yeah, with the.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, so try to get caught up on the comments. I'm seeing things where people were jamming with Johnny Winter and Rick Derringer while we were not jamming while we were gone, but Will Varela was the one that did it. He said they met because they had the same luthier at 48th Street in New York at Rudy's. Brian Lander says he's fixing to order Brielle's fuzz face pedal. Brad Miller said Rick Derringer met Rick Derringer because he came into his parents' restaurant and he was like, "Hey, I know him." And also, Brad Miller ordered some stuff.
Oh yeah, what did you order?
He ordered the boost and the fuzz face. So,
And there's
that boost is what 30 dBs. I think we found out.
yeah, it's loud, man. It was in the one video you talked about it. You're like, we would. What did you say? We would like. So, I don't know.
It looked like the drummer from Spinal Tap.
Yeah. There you go.
So you can see in that picture, which we've shown the board before, so it's not like it's brand new, but those 3 spark pedals in the middle bottom there, and then that's the carbon copy next to it. And not that I couldn't run the Moore through the loop, but it could also just attach it to that chain right there. So I'm somewhat happy with the sound. I'm just not happy with the delay. I just feel like my signal seems really dry for the level of the mix that I have up on that carbon copy deluxe. Of course, I pulled the total Paul Reed Smith move. Every time I've seen Paul play anywhere, he never has a stand for his guitar. He's always leaning his guitar on his amps. And I realized the really small guitar stand I was using, the Ultimate Support, just mini one, I brought it home. And I was just like, oh, I don't have a guitar stand. I'll just lean on the amp. So,
well, there was 2 over my side. You said something. I'm giving you one. I don't need 2 guitars.
well,
I saw that when we were walking back up.
like to live on the edge. I didn't tell you I dropped it in the gig bag this morning, getting into the car. Thank God it wasn't a Gibson or the headstock wouldn't have been on it.
So you're using a PV Classic 30 with a 410 extension cabinet on it.
Mm-hmm. Which those two play nicely together. It doesn't defeat the 12-inch speaker, when you run an extension cab out of that. So you get the kind of the high end of, well, not really high end, maybe the fullness and of the 12, and then you have the 410s. I think if I could get my delay situation squared away, I'd be pretty happy. A couple times I took solos today. I was like, look, it's awful.
Would you like do you think you like the 410 better than the 15? Because don't you have a 15
I don't know.
cab too?
I do. And they can daisy chain. I can bring it out too, because you can daisy chain the 410. It's got an in and an out.
Well, I think.
So I don't know what point the own mode.
You have two 112 extension cabinets, 2 410s, and a 15.
Yeah.
And then we have between us, we have 2 heads and 2 combos. We could probably make a pretty good wall of PV Classic 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Brody, for some of his live shows, he had the Classic 30 heads and a pair, a 410 and a 15, a 410 and a 15, and a head running each of those. It looks cool. I'll retrieve.
I'm waiting for somebody in the comments to tell you to get rid of the $2 patch cables that you have.
They're color coded.
I'm waiting for somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody call him out on these patch cables. Come on, he has the like the bin up by the register with the $1.50 patch cables in it.
It was right next to the free stickers. Yeah, I did buy really nice cables when I did one of my boards, but I never bought nice patch cables. I got nicer cables because I was running some pretty long lengths because I do the 4 cable method, and with playing with Brody and some other people, we'd be on some pretty big stages. I'm not saying like a bunch of people, but we'd be on big stages that my amp would be pretty far behind me. So it was probably pointless to have invested in some really nice long cables than have crappy patch cables.
Yeah. One of these days we're gonna do the pedal board makeover episode, but
Well, now if we do that, we have to have one that snaps in the back of the cabinet.
Right. I really like the square plugs in the Mogami cable. Brian says he built a Blues DeVille with 210, 112, and 115 cabinet.
It's covering all the bases.
I used to have a Hot Rod 212 Blues DeVille, and I wanted somebody to change it into a 210 really bad. What I really like for somebody to do is to make me a hot rod with just the clean channel. I love the sound of a hot rod, but I don't need that other channel. Will asked if that was a bad horsey.
Not on my side, no. Mm-mm.
Well, yours is the picture that was up is a Morley Volume Wah, and then this picture, this pedal board, that's the new bad horsey wheel, and that thing sounds great. There's actually an episode on our channel. We did an episode on that already. Morley sent that out to us, and I reached out to Morley because I always like the bad horsies, and that's a great. I'm really liking that pedal. I'm really. Put it this way, I used bad horsies for years. Then I went to the Warren Haynes signature Wah by G Labs. But now that that's here, I really like that one. And I think we're going to probably have another Morley Wah on the show, hopefully this month.
Yeah,
in July.
Yes. Tim from TL checking in just in time to have your pedal board picture up again with the stinger on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Brad, we don't have any clips of us playing. I was going to say we probably should, and then I always have the line I like to use that I choose to remember it better than it actually was.
I wish there was a clip today. Last thing we were doing.
We should have my son or something, like when we come up at the end and just kind of jam a little bit, maybe just throw a camera on it and see what we get out of it. Yeah, Tim, lots of conversations about the Brielle boosts and was the fuzz. Sounds like Brian Landreth and was it Brad?
And I still don't know if I have the fuzz in the right spot. Because I had that first. So this cable right here, my guitar plugs into the back of this board, and then there's a cable that comes up. That's the input. So it's going to that first. And I think we're going from there to the tuner to the wall.
The tuner has a buffer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to get the fuzz before the buffer. So tuner to the wall, and then it goes envelope filter, vibe, overdrive, Leslie, delay, and out. But I mean that's pretty much covering most of what I'm missing. A reverb pedal, like a heavy, like for shimmer or heavy reverb or anything. But Tim said that him and Brielle were building pedals all weekend. So how's her fuzz coming, Tim?
Should be fishing from a bass boat soon.
And I don't know, man. I think your Canadian goose that you strapped that package to send to us, I think he got lost. He's like down in Texas or something. He's like, I went south, but I went too far south.
I think he's in a pot somewhere.
No. He stopped off to chase tourists.
Yes.
He's chasing little girls around the pond. Package is probably wet. Disaster. By the way, I carried this board up last night Pat set it in the front room so it was ready to go. And I turned off the lights to go to bed, and Morley was glowing over in the corner because that's all like glow in the dark right there.
I forgot about that. I thought you were going to say that Zelda was just late on it.
Look, Will, this is low budget, man. This is a low budget. It's low budget.
It's low budget, and it's like we have stuff, but we're just trying not to drag so much stuff out. Because by the end of the summer, I know myself, I would have so much other crap out there. Because we've got 5 or 6 rugs, and there's a couple of speakers I've thought about bringing out. Someone asked me about in-ears today. Oh my goodness. The idea was to try to keep it simple. But to that point, we set up at 7 again. And play at 9, and we've been somewhat fortunate, but there's been some dew on the grass and moisture. So my monkey board is plexiglass, but it's hollow underneath. And so I did notice some condensation under there one of the weeks. So I don't know. I might put something under that. I don't know.
I mean, literally, it's a tent. It's a big tent. And we're setting up underneath of it. And the only mics we're miking the bass drum and putting a mic over the snare. That's pretty much the sound reinforcement. I think we're not miking the amps. We're not miking the bass amp. Miking vocals, bass, and kick. It's like you're playing in a little club or something.
Right. Christian Kushvik checking in. Towards the end-ish. Yeah, it's a very flat spot. Because we even have the drums not on anything. I think one of the drummers was like, I've never played straight on the grass before, but I don't know that it caused them a problem. Although, I'm looking into it. Jason doesn't even know this yet. The one guy that plays in the band is the band director at the high school. And he's like, we have a rolling platform that we put our drum kit on and it just stays on there. He goes, I think I could fit that in the back of my truck and we could use it in the summer.
Would it be able to roll through the doors and put away?
Maybe. It would probably block the end of that hall, but what do we care? That hall's blocked anyway. Because we're not in the building. Maybe, as long as it goes through the door and it goes in like first. We'll have to have he's also an Eagle Scout, so we'll have him use a tape measure.
As long as that can stay right next to the door, because I don't want to carry that any farther than I have to.
No, I would envision that thing rolling all the way back to the hall. And then for what it's worth, on any given Sunday, Jason and I share the stage with 2 Eagle Scouts. We're not sure what all their merit badges are in, but I feel like there's probably no problem we can't solve.
Who's the other one?
Gary and Andy.
Huh. Not surprised that Gary would be an Eagle Scout.
I was shocked when I found that out. Now we're talking about stuff they don't care about. But like, we had a second round of like meet and greets and see who wants to play. And I went around the table and said, just tell something that people might not know about you. And Gary's like, I'm an Eagle Scout. And I'm like, holy cow, I've known Gary for what, 7, 8 years now? Never know.
All right. Well, anything else, guys? I mean, we've hit our hour of distraction. Questions about anything we have coming up? Questions about anything? Things that are happening with you guys that you haven't filled us in on? I know Brian has had some new content on his channel lately. Tim from TL Pedals is an active participant and member of Instagram now.
I saw that.
Right. So make sure you go on Instagram and follow TL Pedals. I'm apparently in desperate need of a haircut. Yeah, I feel like
I cut my own.
This is COVID. It would be kind of cool. I could go back through all the 19 Conversations series and watch it grow out.
Right.
I have COVID hair. Brad Miller has a Facebook channel or a YouTube channel that people should be subscribed to.
I'm laughing because Christian said drums on grass, and then Will said he can't even buy a carpet to play outside. $2 cables is probably too expensive for him. It's more a case of the more we drag out, the more we have to put away. And we've been pretty fortunate. The first 3 weeks outside, it has not been blazing hot yet. The first week, it was like 55 degrees. It was actually cold.
Well, I'll make a prediction that next week Gary plays, because Gary owns the drum set.
Yeah,
he'll bring a carpet to put underneath of it.
I just didn't know if a carpet would be worth it. I'll get a piece of plywood if he wants a piece of plywood. I don't care.
Well, something so they're
I
not
just feel like
on the grass.
I mean, I feel like I watched them all hit them as hard as they wanted to, and nothing wanted to fall over. But again, we're digressing and stuff.
Well, I don't think. I mean, it's not a matter of them sliding or falling over. I think it's a matter that the wood drum sitting on the wet grass.
Okay. I mean, I've got something I can drag out.
I think that would probably be more of Gary's concern than anything.
Okay. Problem solved. Check.
Oh yeah, Brian said killer job to Brad on the Henning challenge. He did that Alone Together challenge. Go check that out on Brad's channel. That's really cool. He did a great job on that. You can tell he put a lot of work into the editing and stuff. It's nice. Great playing too. I mean, not just in the video production, man. The video production's sweet, but the playing was great too. So definitely go check out that.
Yep.
Cymbal stands rock around a lot on carpet on grass. Yeah, that's probably true too.
That is my exact thought, Tim. But not to say you can't get a sheet of plywood and stick it up.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Just leave it there. Throw it right on top.
King Fuzz is coming to my house soon. King Fuzz, Mickey, who's that? Who's King Fuzz pedal? King Fuzz. I think you told me about that already. I think I already looked that up. Oh, I know what we have that we could share. Patrick.
Yeah. Is it more church chat?
The link to the PJ and the Beard store with all the T-shirts on it, and then if you use 35% code is too much. Let me just double check that real quick. I think I had that up somewhere. We mentioned this the other night. 35% code, 35% off anything there is too much talk. And so the Tremolo shirts are there, the Leslie series shirts are there, the OG PJ and the Beard graphic shirt is there, and the PJ and the Beard Hour of Distraction. So the same little graphic that's on all of these is on there too. We're not really good at upselling stuff, but those are there. The sweatshirts are really nice. The T-shirts are really nice. We like the two big guys here, like the black shirts, the way the black shirts fit better than the gray shirts. Is that right? True.
Absolutely.
So if you're going for like a double X, the black seems to be better than the gray. The grays are good too. I just like the black shirts better. Yeah, the Tremolo, they're all there. 35% off, whatever that price is there. If you use that code, that helps out a little bit, but more helps out that my brother, him and his wife actually own that Big Frog in Brighton, Michigan, and I know they're struggling because with all the stores out are struggling right now because of all the shutdowns and stuff. So that's why we figured we'd cut our profit out of it, and if anybody wants to grab it, they can.
Right. Guitar Hack jumping in here.
Nice.
Will's on a roll. Will said Tim must have sent that pedal by Moose. We should get Will and Dogpaw to have like a comedy show. We'll put them in the bottom two windows. Right. Just let them be like those guys in the Muppets up in the balcony.
I mean, if he was old enough to see Jimi Hendrix live at the Fillmore East,
right?
He must be. He could probably play that role. Yeah, I mean, I keep looking, man. I keep looking, Tim. Every day I check the mailbox. My wife gets packages every day. I'm not getting anything. I'm like one of these days, there's gonna be a package for us from Tim. Every time I go out, and it's like Poshmark or some clothing apparel thing that.
I just wait to show up at your house one day that your wife has made a wreath out of guitar pedals on the front door. She thought it was her craft stuff.
Or guitar picks. I was laughing. She has a pick in her pocket right now because we were walking through the backyard yesterday, and she was like, I don't know if she has it right now, but walking through it, she's like, look, there's even picks in the backyard. And she picked it up and stuck it in her pocket. I'm wondering how many picks she has in her pockets.
Right. She'll find it in the laundry.
Moose Goose commented a post about the same. I don't know, Tim. I think you said, what, about 3 weeks ago you mailed that? I don't know how long. I mean, I know you didn't expedite this one. I just,
Yeah, Brielle probably had to sell 20 pedals to pay for the expedited shipping on the first thing he sent us. Dog Paul said he'll call it the senior insurrection.
Well, my.
He said, yeah, the rat PCBs delivered last Monday, but can't find them anywhere. Thanks.
Wait, what happened?
Tim said, I apparently had rat PCBs delivered last Monday, but can't find them anywhere.
Oh, nice. Probably at your neighbor's house. Didn't that happen to you, Hack, where they delivered a pedal like to a different house down the street from you?
Nothing exciting happens like that here. Pre-COVID, which made it even weirder, an industrial-sized box of paper towels showed up in our house. That was from one of our neighbors. That's the most exciting, wrong thing to be showed up in my house.
So, has anybody played? Here's my last question of the day. Has anybody played? What is it? Is it Revolta that I've been looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Revolta guitars? Anybody heard of that? Heard of the Revoltas by Nova? Was it Nova or Nova?
Nope, Novo.
Novo?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ever had a chance to get their hands on one of this? Or has anybody played a baritone guitar that they really like? 'Cause these are the two things I've been wondering about baritones. Have you ever played a baritone, Pat?
I have. Brody had a baritone Telecaster for a while. He bought it for a recording project. And he sold it.
Then he sold it?
Yeah.
So not all that.
Oh, I think it was Mexican. It was Mexican made. It wasn't super high end. I think it filled the role that he wanted to on the recording that the band was working on, and just flipped it.
Revolt. It's not Revolta, is it? Was it Revolt?
I think it's Revolta. I thought so. Of course, I have a device now that I can actually look. But I can't really share.
I saw Henning was looking at these at NOM. Just put out a video. And the price on them, they're Dennis Spano is the guy designing them in Nashville. And the price on them is pretty good. They're imports, but they come into their Nashville place and they go over them. The two that I've really kind of liking, well, the baritone, because I've just been wondering about a baritone. It has a P90 in the bridge, a humbucker in the back. And then for some reason, I kind of like this gold, the two humbuckers. Different, interesting shape and stuff. I think there's some videos at the bottom. There's always a video of RJ playing them. And of course, he makes them sound fantastic because he's a fantastic player. But
right.
Anyway. What an Eagle Scout band. What's next? Campfire girl trio. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, last week there were 3 Eagle Scouts. Just one of them wasn't playing with us. Well, I don't care who comes to play as long as they sell Girl Scout cookies. That's fine. I take the thin out of Thin Mints.
Oh well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I still got to get a walk in here tonight. I still got to walk the dog. But it's great. I mean, this was nice catching up. We are thinking about this. We enjoyed doing that series every day at 4:30 a lot. We talk about it all the time. And we're still talking about trying to figure out, because if we don't put it on a schedule and get it like kind of calendared in, then it doesn't happen. You know, like
Right.
it doesn't happen as much as it should. So we had mentioned maybe Wednesday nights? Was that what we were talking about the other night?
Well, yeah, we kind of were on a Wednesday night and took an unofficial poll, and everybody's like, "Yeah, this kind of works."
So we'll try and let you know. We don't want to. There's other people that do the live stream, have been doing the live stream for a long time, and that's their thing, and they're good at it, and we don't want to. We don't want to go up against that or compete with that or whatever.
Yeah, Tim's saying 6:30 our time.
6:30. I don't know. 6:30 is kind of. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it and see. But maybe Wednesday night. We'll try and let you know. We'll try and get it figured out, let you know, and keep you informed. Because we know we can't expect, whatever. Hack says, see you all tomorrow night on the live wires at 9 p.m. Shameless plug.
Somebody earlier in the chat mentioned Metalhead Hippie tonight at 10, I think.
Yeah, he is. Metalhead Hippie comes on. I'll tell you what, if maybe we'll jump on live wires tomorrow night and shameless plug and announce our new time. All right, yeah, tomorrow night. So Monday night, 9 p.m., live wires. Cool.
Nice.
Metalhead Hippie later tonight. I think with that, Pat, I mean, is there anything else? I think that's it, right?
No, I don't have any more secret boxes over here or things I didn't talk about.
No, that was quite the secret box tonight.
Yeah.
It's too bad you didn't have like 5 delay pedals over here.
I know, right?
I
got one over there. There's one over there that's smaller than this.
There is. Have we even really plugged that thing in yet?
No, I bought it $20 at Guitar Center in North Carolina. Figured it'd make a nice paperweight if it didn't work out. Or give it to some budding guitarist.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure seeing you all again. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your evening and a great week coming up. Whatever you're getting into. And with that,
I don't have a guitar to make any racket, but with that, I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. Can you play the little motion animation thing on the way out? Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, we can do this. The 10-10, so we have to have the 10-10, and then we can go out on the bumper. We'll see you all later. Peace. Have a great night.